And we live. Let's go. Let's get started. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes and I will explain about today's topic, what we are going to speak about, and that's it. Let's go. Okay, we have some people joining in. Okay, let's get straight to the point. Today I'll be speaking about multivitamin, and anything you want to know about multivitamin you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll be having a list of questions behind my back which I'll be covering for everything you need to know about multivitamin. But why I chose this topic? First of all, if I go to social media and see, there are a lot of influencers talking about multivitamin being it's toxic, regarding its toxicity, or you don't need multivitamins at all. And there's another group who will be talking about having natural fruits, not fruits, like natural foods and not unnatural things, because they consider supplements as unnatural. For me, supplements are convenient form of food. Now, if you see, even like the natural foods which we talk about, they are highly processed, and it's all boils down to individual food, and then you are going to dissect the food about that. Now, secondly, recently I was chatting with my clients, and while on call, some were skeptical about multivitamin, and some were really think it's a miracle. It's a miracle pill, and you'll be fine after taking that, and you don't need it. And sometimes they just get casual and order any multivitamin, which really is not required, because formulation of multivitamin matters. There are really very few multivitamin brands available which have a really good formulations, but the perfect multivitamin, the perfect formulation, formulation does not exist. So let's get started. I'll be covering a lot of questions in this live, and again I'm taking a lecture also, so I'll be again explaining everything. Let's see who all have joined, and we have like, come on, let's go. We have, okay, it's getting stuck. Okay. Thanks, brother. That's not a problem. I think I'm stuck. I have to start again. Let's get started. And we live again. Let's get started. Sorry, in the previous live there was some glitch and I was stuck. Now I can see myself properly, and yeah, straight to the point. So we'll be talking about multivitamin today. Again, I have to start from the scratch, but let's get started. So I'll be talking about multivitamin and why I have chosen this topic, because when I go to social media and I see influencers talking about multivitamin, they're like, keep talking about you don't need multivitamin, it's you can get toxicity because of it, without understanding the whole concept of supplements and even multivitamins. Secondly, people have been divided into two groups, who are really skeptical about multivitamins or just supplements in generally. Or second, if I talk about people who compare things naturally and unnaturally, supplements hai to unnatural hai, I cannot take it, and without understanding the food itself, because right now you can get processed food and like what all packaged food you don't get in the market, and then you don't think about it. So yeah, hi Ajay, what's up? Kya hal chal? If you have question about this, we can ask sir. Definitely, bro. Like if you have any questions with respect to multivitamin, I'll be covering. Like I have a list of questions which I've discussed with my clients. Generally, I'll clear their doubts. So I'll be having these questions covered for sure. But if you have anything else, I'll be happy to help you in the. Let's cover this as multivitamin topic because I'm creating one lecture also for my course. So it will be a live, raw lecture about multivitamin so that they can also learn again on my YouTube channel. Okay, so. Yeah, and recently I was chatting with my clients, as I said, they were also skeptical about taking multivitamin. Secondly, few things there, it's kind of a magical pill and one pill have everything which will solve their problems, and they order any type of multivitamin because this is I've seen generally people are really casual about health. And same thing, if you order a cheap multivitamin having a poor formulation, then you're not getting the results which you should get out of a multivitamin. And when it comes to formulation, there are really hardly good multivitamin brands available which have a good formulation. But if I say perfect formulation available for multivitamin, that does not exist. Yeah, that I've not seen it. But coming on to the perfect formulation, also there are a lot of things involved when you have to take care and combining all the vitamins, minerals with certain dosing in one pill. Okay, so let's clear questions step by step. Let's get started. So I've written like a list of questions which I generally discuss with my clients, and according to that I've made this video. Let's get started. So do I really need a multivitamin? Will multivitamin gives me some instant energy? Is one pill enough to cover anything? What is the difference between cheap quality and the premium? It's a very important one. I'll be covering most of the things on this one, but okay, let's coming on to the first point. Do I really need a multivitamin? See, it depends on a person, but if I have to generally explain about multivitamin, that do you really need a multivitamin? Then if you think you're 100% apt in your nutrition, you take care of yourself really well, nice, then you might not need a multivitamin. But I hardly see people in day-to-day life who takes care of their nutrition properly. So I will not suggest anyone that you can go about multivitamin or not. But how to see for yourself if you are eating a good meal or having a good nutrition? Go to Chronometer, download Chronometer. It's an app, again same thing like Healthify.me or MyFitnessPal, but you can go to Chronometer. So in Chronometer, instead of just macros, record yourself like 3-4 day records and check your micronutrients as well. And if it suggests like all the green line, everything is decent, then you're good to go. You don't need any multivitamin extra on top of it. Okay, but coming on to the lifestyle, which I've seen most of the clients, that's why I ask 3-day food record from my clients so that I can judge them. You need to judge your clients based on the food habits they have. If they have a poor lifestyle, definitely I'll add one multivitamin. I'll be strictly honest with them. I don't want any cheap formulation. You can go from any supermarket and get your multivitamin. No, you have to be specific on the dosing form. That's super important when it comes to multivitamin. Like, of course, all the vitamins and minerals, but again, when it comes down to multivitamin, because होता है ना, लोग बहुत ज़्यादा सोचते हैं कि बस एक पिल में मुझे सब कुछ मिल जाए, and बस क्योंकि उससे ज़्यादा बजट भी नहीं होता. People have budget constraints also. So coming on to the first point, I've covered that do you really need, if you're 100%, check on the Chronometer, and if everything looks decent, it's fine. Second thing, check your blood markers. In your blood markers, ask your doctor, go for like vitamin D, vitamin B12, magnesium, zinc, And when you get the reports, check if everything lines in the range level. You have to see again the range, if it's like on the lower side or upper side, but that's a different point right now. But again, if it's in the level, you don't need multivitamin. But if there are some inefficiencies, for example, vitamin D is low, or particular any vitamin is low or mineral is low, you go for that. Target only that mineral or vitamin. Take that with proper form and dosing. Abhi aage I'll cover form and dosing as well. That's it. But people again are lazy. They don't want to do their blood test, or maybe they don't have the budget itself to go for blood test. That's fine. Or the first option, which they may be lazy, कि chronometer पे check करना है, इतना सब डालना है and all stuff like that, because लोगों को अपने खाने का ही नहीं पता, so how they can be so sure about कि मैं क्या chronometer पे डालूँ and then check my micronutrients. So if you don't want to do that, that's why I just advise you, you can have a multivitamin, okay? Because what I have seen in my clients and generally in population which have not a great knowledge about nutrition, they can have multivitamin in their program and in their like plan, whatever you want to call that. Now, so this is the broad answer. Do I really need a multivitamin? But there's no one answer that, multivitamin leke sab theek hai. We'll come on to the form and dosing later, but yes, will a multivitamin gives instant energy? Okay, listen. So it's not a stimulant. It's not a pre-workout kind of a thing where you take multivitamin and suddenly you'll get instant energy. No, these are some nutritional inefficiencies which you have developed over the period of your lifetime, like how's your lifestyle looks like, according to that you have developed. So it's not going to give you any instant energy, but over the time when you start taking it, you can see the improvement in your mood, in your energy, because you're overcoming those micronutrients. As simple as that. Third, is one pill enough to cover everything? So like multivitamin, I'll give you example. There, if you see behind the any pack of multivitamin, there will be a list of ingredients and you have no clue about that. और लोगों को कैसा लगता है, they feel like if I have so many ingredients behind my multivitamin, सही होगा and I can take it. But that's how things does not work sometimes. For example, I'll give you, like, your multivitamin has vitamin B, B12, all the vitamin Bs, okay, B complex mostly. Then you have vitamin D, vitamin E, you have vitamin K, you have calcium, you have zinc, you have vitamin C. So you have all these in one pill. When it comes to dosing, for example, let's say vitamin D 2000 IU, we'll talk about vitamin B12, we have around like 250 to 500 micrograms mcg. If you keep fitting in that one pill, it is very difficult job. That's why for like even good brands, if they want to make a good supplementation also, it's really difficult for them to fit everything in just one pill. That's why if you see on good brands, they will have like 3-4 servings, or they have AM PM solution so that they can divide the dosing. So one pill is enough to cover everything? No, but apart from that, you can get a lot of knowledge when it comes to multivitamin if you individually understand every vitamin and mineral. And I know that is really tough to understand, like individually particular vitamin and mineral. I'll give you the baseline, what you should see behind the pack before buying a multivitamin, whether you're in India or US, anywhere, but you can get an idea. Now, what is the difference between cheap quality and premium ones? So let's say if your multivitamin has magnesium oxide, we'll talk about the form first, then we'll talk about the dosing. because both of these things important when you talk about cheap quality and the premium ones. This is like really important. So let's talk about the form first. Let's say you have in your multivitamin magnesium oxide, zinc oxide. These are cheaper forms, less bioavailable. Bioavailable मतलब कि कितना easily body absorb कर पा रही है, your stomach is able to absorb that, and कितना easily you're able to tolerate that. ठीक है, so that's the bioavailability meaning, because I might be using this term again and again. Cheap quality, yeah. So magnesium oxide, zinc oxide, these are cheaper forms of magnesium and zinc. The better form, magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate. And when you choose a better form over the cheaper form, definitely for companies also the prices will be high, 5 to 10 times higher. So you cannot think that I'll be getting a cheaper in cheaper rate I'll get a multivitamin and with all the good forms as well. So that's why these forms are important. So for zinc, I'll tell you zinc picolinate is there, zinc gluconate is there, zinc citrate is there. These are like little better forms compared to zinc oxide or magnesium oxide. Because if you go to any supermarket, let's say in your local area, let's say I'm talking about here in US, Walmart or Costco, if you take big bottles, they have pretty bad forms, and I would not advise anyone to take those multivitamins. इससे better तो मत ही लो. इससे better like improvise your nutritional habits. But with that being said, coming on to the form, we have if I talk about vitamin B12, so we have two forms in B12, methylcobalamin and cyanocobalamin. Methylcobalamin is better form. Then in folate we have like vitamin B9. We have folic acid. Some people use some companies use folic acid, which is not good. If you want to go for methyl folate, which is kind of body's active compound. उसमें कोई conversion की ज़रूरत नहीं होती, कोई enzyme conversion की ज़रूरत नहीं होती, तो it's better available form. And what else we have? We have vitamin D, vitamin C. So all these things are matters when it comes to have a good formulation for multivitamin, and that's why the form matters. I hope you get an idea. Now coming on to the dosing, we select dosing generally. People select according to the RDA, which is recommended dietary allowance, but people get confused with what is RDA. It's like an average daily intake for healthy people, between 90% of the people and it's been taken for general population, but it's not a perfect dosing for you. For example, if I talk about magnesium glycinate 400 mg as an RDA, it's fine, you can start with that, but it depends on your height, it depends on your activity. You might be needing a little more magnesium or less magnesium, so it's not like a perfect number. But when you talk about multivitamin, you should have all these dosing, whatever the vitamins and minerals I've talked about, around RDA कि उतना तो minimum होना चाहिए, so that at least we can cover the dosing. Third, about the cheap quality and premium ones is the testing. Premium brands होंगे, उनके पास पैसा है, they can afford for testing that their vitamin minerals have good forms available, had exact dosing, less chances of metals. Cheap quality पे इतना time नहीं है, and they don't have like so much budget to check, test everything, go precisely when it comes to their brand and the quality of the multivitamin. So this is really important when you want to talk about the cheap multivitamin and the quality multivitamin. So form, dosing, testing. Remember these three things are important. Next up, what we have. Okay, what's a good baseline dosing for general or athletes? Let's say, again, I know you're not my client, you're not taking plan for me, but generally what you should see behind the label of a multivitamin to know it's a good formulation, at least a good formulation, and you can have it. So let's cover one by one. Let's start with vitamin D. Vitamin D called calciferol, ये form होती है D3 की, and how much you want to see 2000 to 5000 IU behind your multivitamin. It should be in this range. Secondly, I'll talk about the major ones, okay, which I used to see a multivitamin and select. कि मैं quickly I can roughly glance through a multivitamin and tell you if it's good or not. As simple as that. कि इसको consider करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए. So first I talked about vitamin D. Second, we'll talk about vitamin B12. So the form, as I said, methylcobalamin is a better form, and if you want to talk about the dosing, 250 to 500 mcg you can consider. Third, we talk about vitamin B9 folate. It should be present as methylfolate. That's the form. You should check behind the label. And when it comes, you can go for 400 mcg. Then next, if I talk about magnesium, I've told you magnesium citrate, magnesium biglycinate is good. They are good forms. Around 150 to 250 mg is a good dosing for magnesium. Then next we have zinc. Zinc के लिए you try to go for 10 to 15 milligram. That's a good dosing for zinc to check behind the, but these are the these dosing which I'm telling, you might not get it in one pill. That's why you have to check the service size. If it is says 3 pills, it makes sense because it's difficult, as I said, physically to put everything and that much amount of quantities in one pill. I've talked about zinc, then selenium again. It's a good, you have selenothionine form around 55 mcg, then vitamin C as ascorbic acid, and it should go for 90 to 200 milligrams. And what else? So these are the major ones which I'll look into my multivitamin, and with the form and the dosing कि इतने ranges में होना चाहिए, so that I can say this is a really good multivitamin and I can incorporate in my plan. The better option, I've already told you to check the blood markers, but अगर आपको check नहीं करना है and you want to include in multivitamin. Usually how I incorporate multivitamin, I'll see everything, and again जो best quality होगा, जितना budget होगा, उसके according I'll take that. Definitely I'll go with the high quality multivitamin. I'll never go for the cheap quality multivitamin in the market and never getting from regular stores. When I'm in really low carbs, मतलब I'm on my shredding phase कि मुझे I want to see maybe for a competition, and I know my calorie intake is pretty less, my mass intake for my foods is pretty less, whether I've reduced my carbs or fats. So in that case I'll include the multivitamin so that I'll not be worrying about too much on my micronutrients. कि मेरे पास एक होता है ना safety net है कि yes, at least I'm getting enough. Otherwise you should not take multivitamin because of your flawed nutrition, that खाने में तो कुछ भी खा रहे हैं but as a multivitamin ले रखा है कि सब चीज़ें मिल रही हैं, because even my mom thinks like that. That's I have added multivitamin, so सब कुछ सही चल रहा होगा with respect to my internal organs and everything. And yeah, so this is a good baseline. I've covered, I think, all the major vitamins and minerals. And another thing about which I forgot about cheap quality and premium ones is like you have to see on the multivitamin there are some minerals which compete for absorption. Let's say calcium, zinc, sometimes some multivitamins have iron also, which I'll not recommend. Don't for women multivitamin it's okay, but iron is not required for including in a multivitamin, because zinc, iron competes for the absorption, and high amounts of dosing for magnesium and zinc also, they also compete for absorption. Calcium, zinc, they also compete for absorption. So but again, these are the things which not everyone is going to take care of when it comes to formulating a good multivitamin. So that's why whatever the dosing and form I've told, if this is there in the multivitamin, it's a decent one, and it's really hard to find a decent good formulation. That's why if you see on social media, everyone will be like against multivitamin because of its toxicity and higher dosing, stuff like that. So you need to be aware of all the three things: form, dosing and testing. And I hope you got the baseline. I will in my caption, when I'll post this video, I'll include what should be the baseline with respect to form and the dosing, so that I know bar you won't be able to see this. वैसे ही चार ही लोग देख रहे हैं. Okay, so next up, best time to take multivitamin. So you have in multivitamin fat soluble vitamins, you have your water soluble vitamins. So for fat soluble, it's good for digestion or bioavailable. If you sorry, if you take along with some fats like omega-3, some fats in your meal, or basic idea, just have one whatever the pill serving size in your multivitamin, just have it along with your meal, as simple as that. Then what's should kids, women should take multivitamin? Definitely yes, because as I said, generally if I see if your nutrition or you have a poor lifestyle, definitely you can add multivitamin, but adding multivitamin should come along with improvising the nutrition as well. For example, like as a parent, you know your eating habits are not that great, but eventually we are very protective towards our child, and we want usko sab acha mile, so why not giving them a multivitamin? But again, in that case, forms remain the same, but dosing matters. You have to be really dosing, age, your lifestyle, all these things matter. So for kids, really they can get away with really small dosing, and for women, again, like check your vitamin with respect to folate, iron. If you need those separately, you but again, that's a different thing. But for women, that's why there are some multivitamins you see in the market, they'll be coming as multivitamin for women. It's just they have a lesser dosing. Good multivitamin I would prefer would be having a AM and PM, so that different dosing, good forms available, and at different times you have to go for, so that even for the absorption competition in the minerals, there will be less. Okay, and as I said, the quality increases, the price of the multivitamin will increase. And now companies are also smart, they do marketing like that to make their product also premium, so the prices will be high. So yeah, that's why if you can get some multivitamin in good form dosing and cheaper, that would be again a good thing, but I have not seen that. Okay, should kids, women take? That's it. I think I've covered all the points with respect to multivitamin, that do you really need them? But in the end, before if I have anything I'm forgetting with respect to multivitamin, I don't think so, but I've covered everything with respect to the baseline for general and athletes. But I would say definitely this before ending the live, that as I said, your nutrition should not be flawed with respect to taking a multivitamin. There will be some situations multivitamin is absolutely necessary and good to take. Checking all these three: form, dosing and testing. Check out the genuinity of the product. But otherwise, it has to come along improvising your nutrition. देखो उसका कोई फ़ायदा नहीं होगा दैट आपका न्यूट्रिशन तो बेकार ही है, आपने मल्टीविटामिन भी जो एक्स्ट्रा लिया है वो भी बेकार ही है. सो slowly try to improvise. I know you have seen like videos on Food Farmer, he's doing so much on the nutrition label. That could be questionable, but slowly with respect to sugar, macros, आपको समझ आ रहा है. But you need to get awareness in this area also. What is multivitamin? What is your like micronutrient dosing involves? What are their forms involved? So that's it. Take care of your nutrition as well. And this is about the multivitamin. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Let's see if you have any comments. Okay, Ajay, हृदय गांधी देखते रहो. Okay. I've seen here last, I think in your stories, he did really good with respect to, I think in calisthenics battle. That's सही यार, that's awesome. और उसके बाद भैया मैं calisthenics करता हूँ, I wanna improve my skills, कैसे करूँ? Okay. Yeah, again, this is a big topic, and I've created a whole series on calisthenics कि कैसे start करना है, कैसे अपना environment बनाना है. If you can get a good teacher, why not? और अगर आप पुणे में हो तो go to Kalikida. वहाँ पे like you can get a good vibe, good environment, and we have really good athletes, coaches जहाँ पे तुम्हें एक vibe मिलेगी ना. जब वो environment मिलता है ना, तो आप भी इम्प्रोवाइज करने की कोशिश करते हो कि मैं कैसे बेहतर हो सकता हूँ. वो एनवायरनमेंट बहुत ज़रूरी है. आप घर से भी कर सकते हो, पर ये चीज़ें ना अभी स्लो कर देंगी आपको. पर इन calisthenics people are very competitive. If you see the level of athletes right now, so let's say एक athlete का टाइम स्पैन ही 10 years है, तो अगर आपको वैसा बनना है तो just start fast, go to the gym. Or can I get a training session? I can already handstand push up, but I'm starting to hit a plateau now. यार plateau तो see, plateau कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक है. You can improvise. You need to just change your modify your training, modify your structure. अगर दिमाग में सोच ही लिया plateau हो गया है तो नहीं होगा. अगर कभी कभी होता है, अगर plateau हो गया है, go to another skill. As simple as that. Calisthenics में skills की कमी है ही नहीं. मतलब you can do freestyle, you can do statics, you can do strength work, you can do endurance, depending upon injuries या how's your training structure looks like. आप बहुत कुछ कर सकते हो, ठीक है. तो आप वहाँ पे आपको डेमो सेशन भी मिलेगा, पर यार डेमो सेशन से मैं बोलूँगा उससे ज़्यादा आप वहाँ पे जाओ. कोचेस विल डू योर असेसमेंट, आपको वहाँ सीखने को मिलेगा. और उनके साथ देयर इज़ ओपन जिम ऑल्सो अवेलेबल. वहाँ पे आप जाओगे भी ना, तो उन लोगों के साथ ट्रेन करोगे तो आपका माइंडसेट वैसे डेवलप होना शुरू हो जाएगा, ठीक है. तो वो ज़्यादा मैं अभी इंपॉर्टेंट है स्टार्ट करने के लिए. बाकी बहुत चीज़ें टेक्निकली इन्वॉल्व है, वो बात की बात है, ठीक है. आई होप यू गेट डेफिनेटली यार. लाइक इफ़ यू आर इन पुणे, गो टू कालीकीड़ा, शनिवार पेट, और वहाँ पे यू कैन लर्न अ लॉट. और जैसे मैंने बोला, सबसे पहले तो ग्रुप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो यार दैट्स इट. इफ़ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस रिगार्डिंग मल्टीविटामिन, इट्स गुड. अदरवाइज आई वांटेड टू डू दिस रॉ सेशन बिकॉज ऑफ माय क्लाइंट्स एंड ऑफ कैमरा ऑन, जो कि आई विल जस्ट डायरेक्टली पोस्ट इट ऑन माय यूट्यूब सो दैट माय students for my course can see it. And I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. That's it. Let's end this multivitamin live. I hope you got some knowledge. Of course, I cannot cover all these things in a reel or something like that. I know it's trendy, but I know if you want to learn something, you need to have a good knowledge about some topic. Even I don't know how long I've taken to complete this multivitamin topic. It will take time. It's not like a one quick shot. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next live or video. Take care, guys.